Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a true underdog story as El Matador playing as the Blue Burgundians prepares to take on the Viper playing as the Turks in yellow. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Burgundians, what I like to call an oddball civilization. Militarily, they focus primarily on cavalry, being the only civ in the game to have access to cavaliers in Castle Age, and their unique unit, the Coustelier, but I'm going to call it Coustelier just because that's easier to pronounce, is a medium cavalry unit that has a shock attack where every 40 seconds it gets a massive boost added to its attack. Now, to support their cavalry on the field of battle, Burgundian gunpowder units come with extra attack, and they have access to a second unique unit, the Flemish Militiamen. This is a medium infantry unit with a decent attack bonus against cavalry. Now, if that's not enough attack for you, the Burgundians can actually conscript their entire civilian population. Oh, let's take a quick second here. Will the rhino get an attack? Yes, it does. Very rare to see a rhino or an elephant get pulled without doing any damage. We saw it recently, but I'm going to keep pointing it out every time in the hopes that we do eventually get to see it become very frequent. In any event, the Burgundians can conscript their entire civilian population by turning each and every one of these villagers into a Flemish militia and allowing even more Flemish militia to be built out of their barracks. Now, to help pay for the Burgundian war machine, Burgundian stable techs are cheaper. Their relics generate food in addition to gold. All economic upgrades are available one age earlier and also cost less food, and their farmers can be upgraded to also generate a small amount of gold while they till those Burgundian fields. Now, opposing El Matador, we've got the Viper, the Turks in yellow. Man, a classic gunpowder civilization. Gunpowder units are created faster, have extra HP, come with cheaper technologies, and some of their gunpowder units... Okay, gets the pull. Let's see if... Okay, even the Viper took a damage, it looks like, on this one villager. Anyway, some of their gunpowder units, I'm talking about bombard towers, bombard cannons, and cannon galleons, not that we're expecting to see galleons in this game, can be upgraded to get extra range. Now, staying on the whole gunpowder brand, the unique unit of the Turks is the Janissary. This is a more expensive, less accurate hand cannoneer with more range, more HP, a better attack, and more armor. But the only downside is, well, I guess one of the downsides, no bonus against infantry. Now, on the field of battle, to help support these heavy but expensive units, the Turks can actually field some pretty decent supporting units, even though their trash units are notoriously terrible. First, their scout line units come with extra pierce armor. Their cav archers can be upgraded to get extra HP. Oh, a bit of a wonky path here for the Viper Zebra. And their scout line units can, or rather do, automatically upgrade into light cav and then hussars upon reaching Castle and Imperial Age, which not only saves you time, but also resources. Almost lost control of the Zebra. Oh, man. So the second you hit Castle Age, if you've got any scout cav on the field of battle, they immediately become light cav. And if they're lucky enough to survive into Imperial, they do automatically become hussars, one of the super cool features of the Turks. Now, in order to be able to afford their gunpowder units, which, as we all know, are quite gold intensive, Turkish gold miners do work 20% faster. The chemistry upgrade is free of charge, and the free upgrade from light cav to hussar, rather from scout cav to light cav to hussar, does save you about 1,300 resources. That's 1,300 resources, which is also, by the way, includes 650 gold. So those are the two civs we have. Why did I call this an underdog story? Take a look at the Elos. I know somebody in the comments is going to point it out, but number one, I have not seen El Matador in a while. I don't know if it's just because I haven't come across him while he's been playing the games or what it is, but he's a pretty damn good player. His Elo, almost 2,400, is not bad at all, and that is an understatement. Plus, he's just got a fun playstyle. I really enjoyed it. I casted a game of his before, and so I really am excited to cast this game. Take a look, about 300 Elo point difference, which is why I opened the video by saying it's an underdog story. I, by the way, love that he's taking the wood right next to his town center, something not a lot of players do. in the higher Elo levels, but definitely worth doing, in my opinion. The Viper, though, first to hit Feudal. Let's take a look at their bases while the players kind of explore where their opponents are. Matador now finding the Viper. Viper, as we saw earlier, has already seen where his opponent is. Primary gold nice and secure in the back. Primary stone a little bit off campus, a little bit on a hill. So would do well to secure that if he wants to go the castle route. Viper primary stone very secure in the back. Primary gold, man. Talk about exposed primary gold. Yeah, no surprise that he's building a lumber camp real close by. Wow. That is just a very exposed gold line. Matador has seen it. We'll see if he decides to put any kind of pressure on this while his is nice and comfy in the back. Although, again, remember, when you use a resource to create part of your wall off, it's great. You save a little bit of wood, a little bit of downtime for these villagers while they're doing construction work instead of gathering resources, but it also means you are exposed. It also means that any archers here, or even here or here, can reach those gold miners. Our Turk going heavy on the scout cav. No surprise there. If he can keep these guys alive, man, do they become dangerous once they become light cav, hussars, etc. So not uncommon to see our Turkish players go heavy on the cavalry early in Feudal. That being said, El Matador playing a bit of a Mr. Yo style here. Mr. Yo, if you've seen our videos, likes to create little enclaves for himself. Will he get the villager? No, he did not. What an amazing save by the villager there by Matador. So far, 0 kills to 0. Continuing to work in the shade while these, how many? 3 are going to show it. But this villager should probably die, right? And she does. First blood Rambo prize going to the Viper here. Though El Matador moving in with a bit of an armed force here. An interesting choice of 2 spearmen and 2 archers. The spearmen will be able to zone out any cavalry, and the Viper returning home. 1 kill is all he wanted, all he needed. And so now he's coming back, and Matador ties it up. 1 villager kill to 1 villager kill. These archers are super exposed. The Viper's going to do what the Viper always does. It looks like the archer is stuck in the middle of the gate. And unable to move, gets gunned down by the skirmisher. So what was even a second ago is now a 3-to-1 kill count in favor of our Turk. And El Matador looks like he's continuing to build this kind of enclave for himself. A little bit of a constrained area, no? Viper doesn't seem too concerned about any kind of raiding. His primary gold very exposed. 1 skirmisher, not even a spearman, but a skirmisher defending this. Let's see what else he's got. Where is his secondary structure? There it is, the stable that we saw earlier on producing the scout units, which are now rampaging across the map, heading over now with a bit of skirmisher reinforce, even more ranged reinforcements on the way. Let's see how Matador defends this. Villager count identical. His army supply is lower, but he does have spearmen and he does have a wall off. And if the Viper enters this area, that town center is going to be garrisoned in the blink of an eye. The problem for Matador, if I can call him Matador, not the Matador, El Matador, is that he's created a safe zone here for these villagers from scouts, but they are not that safe from these skirmishers. Not that skirmishers kill villagers very quickly, but still created a bit of a kill zone for himself. That being said, the Viper is being pulled in many directions here by our blue Burgundian, who is not paying attention or maybe doesn't want to engage in this archer knowing that his scout will die. And surprisingly, neither player really taking that bad of a trade. Even though the kill count is 4-2, 100% bigger for the Viper. Total population, El Matador's not down that much. 32 villagers to 32. He's down 2 army supply. But again, you can be down a little bit of army supply when you are on the defensive, when you've got home court advantage and can reinforce your army in split seconds, and you've got a wall off, although wall off with a bit of a open gate here. Neither player really banking any good resources yet. Viper continuing to make army, El Matador continuing to make army. And now the Viper is moving in. El Matador circling the north, trying not to get this guy killed. 4 idle villagers for the Viper here. 6 in total. So even though he's ahead, actually, even though he's an even villager count ahead, now that I finished that sentence, he's actually down economically. Because for a split second, there's 6, 7, 5 of those villagers were doing nothing. Finally, they're allocated. El Matador might want to build a few more houses. He's approaching supply block territory, or housing territory, as I've been told. It's called an Age of Empires. And the pressure here by the Viper, relentless. He's got 14 army supply. 13 of it is here, and 14 is in the middle of the map, either having a bit of a break or just hoping maybe to see some reinforcements streaming across the map so you can get some good vision. El Matador heading up to Castle. Let's see what he does once he gets there. The Viper still at half the resources he needs to get up to Castle. Not too concerned about his gold count. Remember, the Turks do mine gold faster. Food count, though. 16 villagers means he should be able to go up in the next few seconds. Maybe a minute or so, in-game minute. But El Matador, light years ahead of the Viper, who has invested significant resources. Take a look at army supply. 19 to 9. Villager count 41 to 35. Our Burgundian is rushing up to Castle. I'm not too sure why, unless he wants to build actual castles, but he's got no stone. And I don't know. How many stables does he have? 2 stables. Are we going to see Cavaliers? Not a very expensive upgrade. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is 600 total resources. Not exactly a costly upgrade, but then you've got to actually produce those units, which are not cheap at all. The Viper finally heading up to Castle, about 2 minutes, a minute 50 seconds behind his opponent. El Matador doing a good job here, showing us all why you should always defend your wall-offs and never, ever resign just because an opponent is putting pressure on you. Look at this with 10 army supply, a few scouts, a few archers, and a few spearmen. He has stood strong and defended this aggression here. Town Watch is going to finish up for him real soon, so he's going to be able to see a lot more. Take a look at his vision right now, by the way. Ignoring this one scout who's made friends with a lion. Probably trying to tame him so that in what, 2,500 years, 3,000 years or so, that lion is going to be somebody's kitty cat, meowing for its supper. But take a look at his vision. This is all he sees. He doesn't know if there's structures headed his way. He doesn't know if there's army headed his way. Knights are out. Okay, I hope that means we're going to say Cavaliers. Very rarely, to be honest. Let me put it like this. In the games that I've seen, in the games that I've cast with the Burgundians, usually the threat is the Flemish Revolution. You know, the most controversial tech upgrade, whatever you want to call it, in the game. Yeah, he's got to be going Cavaliers, right? Husbandry, chain-barding armor. Usually the big fear playing the Burgundians, but he is housed. Lion joins in the fight. 0 kills yet. No attack upgrades at all. Predator animals, 0. But if Flemish Revolution is not an option here, if he's going heavy on the cavalry, 9 knights, very rarely do we actually get to see Cavaliers in Castle Age. Now, your experience might be different. The games you've played, the games you've seen, other channels you watch, etc. But the games that I've watched and casted, very much Cavaliers in Castle Age has not been a thing. The Viper, seeing all those knights, immediately switches over to cav archers and camel riders. Remember, these guys come with a big attack bonus against cavalry, 9. There it is. Oh my goodness. You know what? Not a bad idea. You've got the gold secure in the back. This is still 4,000 gold. That's a lot of knights and cavaliers that you can buy with that. Or rather, you can train with that. Upgrades? No attack upgrades, only defense upgrades. Right as I say that, I look up and I see forging. So they're going to be +1, +2 in a second. But how long until the camel and these crossbows break into here? Camels, if you guys know anything about my opinion of camels, very purpose to build unit. Not exactly good at much, except a certain specific tasks, and destroying houses, definitely not one of them, unless we're talking about Hindustani camels that attack faster, or civs that come with some kind of bonus. There they are, Cavaliers. The Viper sees this. Let's see how he reacts. More Cav Archers while he tries to hold this force off. Now the Viper, if you've you might be familiar with the Viper. I don't know. He's just I don't know if you're you know, he's played a game or two, let's put it like that. His micro with the crossbows in games that we've seen has just been phenomenal. The only issue is these are Cavaliers with 120 HP. Let's see, they should be able to shred through the last crossbow. Yeah, okay. So we've reset our count to 7 Cavaliers. Cav Archers heading across the map. El Matador has withstood the Viper's aggression. Not something many of us can say, oh no, the Viper's not paying attention. How many of these will he lose if more? Does lose 1. Wow. Uncharacteristic mistake there by the Viper. But how many of us could have withstood all of that aggression in Feudal Age against the Viper, condensed into a base this small? Look at it. It fits all on one screen, and I'm not even zoomed out that much. Let's take a look at speed. 1.49 to 1.54 means these Cav Archers can run circles around those Cavaliers. Third town center going up for the Viper. Second place. I don't mind this at all. That's a lot of surface area of lumberjacking that he's given himself access to. Fantastic. Love this location as well. Second town center for our Burgundian. Wonder if he should have put it here next to the stone or up here next to the gold. I mean, you're going Cavaliers. They're not cheap. 75 gold. You need gold for this. I'm not sure stone is the right way to go unless you want to start plopping up castles or plopping down castles. 7 kills already on these units. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a bad idea. Your opponent has shown himself to be going Cav Archers. And with the Turks, believe me, Cav Archers are a pretty damn viable option. Sanctity being researched for the Vipers. So he's going a bit of monk play as well. 3 monks. And they now have extra HP. Where are they, by the way? I always like to show monk upgrades. There they are with their 45 HP. Managed to get a convert on this Cavalier already. So if he's going for stone, not a bad idea. I don't know. I think if you're going to go Cavaliers, maybe go after the gold. And then the stone. But let's see. 5 villagers on stone. Maybe he wants more town centers. Crossbow upgrade finally being researched. He still has his 6 original archers from Feudal Age. And now he's trying to do some kind of sneaky wraparound here. HP not terrible at all on these guys. The Viper knows, though. The Viper sees it. Lion sees the Viper seeing El Matador. And now we're stuck in here. Say the villagers. I knew he was going to do... Oh, no, he doesn't manage to get it in time. El Matador, a little bit faster than the Viper, but maybe it was all a feint. Maybe it was all part of the plan, as the Joker would say, just to trap these Cavaliers in here. Now they're stuck with camels. They're stuck with Cav Archers. They're stuck with their one traitorous former brethren, former comrade in arms. Okay, now he's getting the gold. Okay, so there you go. 5 villagers on stone still. Viper only 2. So neither player really going to the lion. Neither player really looks like they're going to go special unique unit at the moment. Where are these Cavaliers going? Maybe they want to come down south here and help out. What are you? A monk. A monk. Viper looking for relics. Already has 3 relics. Has he seen the one over here? Oh, that's so sour. Look how close it is to his vision. That is incredibly sour. Lion and 2 Cav Archers bite the dust, but a monk is enough to shoo this force away. Does not want to go from 12 to 11 if he can help it. Now the Viper's got 4 relics. Still. Oh, our Burgundian also hasn't seen this last relic. Has the Viper? No. Oh, goodness. I guess he's going to have to be happy with 4 relics unless he decides to explore this northeastern portion of the map, and it doesn't look like he's going to be doing that anytime soon. His monks out of position. 1 Cav Archer is going to see this. Will he hold the line? He will not. Doesn't need to. Cavaliers engaging. Monk gets sniped before he can get a convert. Beautiful play there. No, he did get a convert. Sorry. Oopsie daisy. Unless that's the Cavalier from before. No, there's the Cavalier from before up on our top right of our screen. I absolutely love this game so far. Fantastic. El Matador playing to the strength of the Burgundians, which is a massive power strike, what do we want to call it? Spike in mid to late Castle Age. And if he researches Burgundian vineyards, which are not is not an expensive upgrade, all his farmers, 29 farmers, are also going to start generating a trickle of gold. Whereas the Viper going with the Cav Archers, remember with Sipahi, I think it's called, they max out at 100 HP, which compared to the average Cav Archer is pretty damn good. Plus throw in a few crossbows. Why are they focusing on the villagers is what I want to know. Man, these Cavaliers are so freaking tanky. Would love to see cast iron. Sorry, we went shopping for kitchen implements recently. I guess that's stuck in my head. Would love to see the +2 attack on these guys. Although right now neither player really investing in melee upgrades at all. Choosing instead to go units, quantity over quality at this point for both players. At the 36-minute mark of the game, villager count basically identical, army supply basically identical. And I don't know who has the better army here. Oh no, sour loss of a mangonel out in the middle of nowhere. Ugh, what a waste of a mangonel there for El Matador. And also falling prey to the Viper's trap here, who, by the way, manages to get another convert. We'll take a look at the number of converts at the end of the game. But the Viper beautifully kept pulling the Cavaliers south, knowing that these crossbows can't keep up. They move at basically 2/3 of the speed of the Cavalier, 1.5 to 1, basically. And so the Viper kept pulling the Cavaliers further and further away, knowing that those crossbows could not keep up. And that's exactly what happened. And without that crossbow support, those Cavaliers were exposed, weaker. Is the monk going to go? Oh, he's going to make it? Yes, he is. El Matador with the saving skills here. First on that villager in the earlier stage of the game. Now on that monk. But whereas army supply was close before, villager supply was close before, take a look at what has happened in the last 5 minutes. The Viper skyrocketing ahead. 20 total supply, 111 villagers to 125 army supply to 15, but a fantastic shot there by that onager. Ooh, misses the second attack round, but beautiful shot. Softens up. Take a look at the HP on these guys, below 50%. And if they stop, if they give the Cavaliers an inch, the Cavaliers will take a mile. No monks anywhere around here, so these Cavaliers are free to engage left, right, and center. Sees the castle, though, has to disengage now. The Viper with a second castle will try to nullify this town center and will do exactly that. In what, about 50 or 30 seconds or so? Behind all this, whoop, whoop, whoop. Take a look. The Viper, sneaky, building light cav out of these two hidden barracks. Barrack stables. What was he building here for a second? I thought he was building something else, but nope. Just a few hidden stables, trying to stop the momentum of our Burgundian player, who is now underneath the town center, showing us a beautiful display of synchronized batting, synchronized attacking. No reason to stop just yet, but now that the Cav Archers show up, get the hell out of here. Will he lose will he lose a Cavalier to convert? The answer is yes. Now, El Matador must be wondering, has he seen these? No, he has not. He thinks there's just a skeleton, an elephant skeleton here. Instead, there is so much more, but he must be wondering, how the hell did you sneak a light cav into the back of my base? I don't remember seeing that light cav on the out on the map. The question is he throwing away too many of these Cavaliers? Oh, now he's going to see even more. Oh, one to the south, one to the north. They are being such a pain in the butt. But a Cavalier over here to deal with them. This one, no doubt, he'll pivot north once he gets this light cav. One more. There it is. And there's a Cavalier that pivoted north. He's going to charge. We'll see who's paying attention. There is so much action happening all over the map all of a sudden that it is a surprise to me that both players are able to react as quickly as they are. Okay, Outpost. He knows something's up. Okay, he built a house. Spotting house is not that bad, but an Outpost will see all of it. Oh, God. The Viper sneaking in 5. Full health. Fully healthy. Is that a way to say it? Fully healthy? 5 very healthy 100% HP Cav archers, but now 4 of them are left. El Matador getting map vision. I don't mind it at all. Let's take a look at his map vision. Keep in mind that, what was it, 20 minutes ago, it was constrained to this. This is some pretty damn good map vision. The Viper heading up to Imperial. Oh no, that's terrible. El Matador has seen the 2 castles. He knows that once the Viper hits Imperial, Trebs are going to come out, and he's got no answer. He's nowhere close to Imperial. Okay, castle on the high ground will help, but he sees his Vipers Imperial. How will he react? Building more Cavaliers, trying to finish up this castle. Oh, heavy camel. Oh. Disappoint. Oh, that's so sour. Would have loved to see these 2 castles take each other on, but yeah. I mean, he doesn't know what we know, right? El Matador doesn't have the caster God's Eye view where it can see all the upgrades being researched. Take a look. Viper, heavy camel, conscription, bracer for those Cav archers. Yikes. Now. Oh, a castle in the back as well, ready to defend. But take a look, by the way. Let's rewind real quick to when the Viper hits Imperial. So let's follow along on the journey of this. I just want to show you how cool that feature is of the Turks. In 0 seconds, boom, becomes a Hussar. How amazing is that? That instantaneously, the second you go from feudal to castle, from castle to Imperial, you immediately have access to the top of the line light cavalry units in the game. And they get Hussars too, which is absolutely crazy. That is such a cool feature. I mean, the other Turk trash units are absolutely terrible. So it's not surprising that they have that Hussar feature, but wow. I mean, like I said, El Matador has seen these castles. He knows now that the Viper's an Imperial. Now that he's 500 food away, he's got 2 options. Stop building army and try to gather what he's got. The gold to go up to Imperial, doesn't have the food though, so he needs another 450 food or so. So stop building any army and go up to Imperial, in which case the Viper is just going to use that opportunity to build Trebs and start shelling away at these town centers. There's no defense here to the south. There is nothing here to protect against a Turkish onslaught. The castle's in the backwards position, trying to defend against these raids. The Viper building, being so annoying with his infrastructure. Or if you don't want to build, if you don't want to start banking resources to go up to Imperial, keep building units. But this is enough gold for what? 12 Cavaliers? He's got 200 gold left here. His original gold is mined out. This gold is unminable because of the Viper's castle. So that's basically it. He sees the gold here. He sees the castle here. So no gold for you here. No gold for you here. And here you've got 200 gold left. So basically, again, make the decision. Go up to Imperial, in which case you'll have 300 gold left when you do reach Imperial. Or continue building units, knowing that your opponent is now at the most advanced age in the game. And in a minute 40-second, you're going to see heavy camels, which are going to nullify these Cavaliers. They're going to absolutely demolish them. Plus, there's still 21 Cav archers, which, knowing the Viper will be heavy Cav archers pretty damn quickly, pretty damn soon. And so El Matador, despite putting up such a staunch, awesome defense, and despite, by the way, showing us a super cool feature. Now, I know some of you are going to say, Or maybe one or two of you are going to say, oh, 300 elo difference points, blah, 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 blah. Why did you cast this game? Trey boring. You know what? I'm going to cast this game. I'm going to post this game because, again, I personally rarely see the Burgundians use this Cavalier and Castle Age. In the games that I've cast, in the games that we've seen, again, the bigger threat is usually the Flemish Revolution or just a super duper late game overpowering by the Burgundians. Remember, they have a bunch of cool features. So this is not something we see every day. And El Matador tried it. It was successful for a very, very, very short period of time. And then the Viper just overwhelmed him with double the army supply, 30 more villagers, heading up to Imperial, rather, light years ahead of El Matador. And El Matador, even though, again, at this exact moment, right when he quit, his economy looks pretty damn substantial. 150 villagers. How many of those are 43 on food, 18 on gold? It's a pretty damn impressive economy at the moment in this stage of the game. Unfortunately, like any good chess player, he can see several moves ahead. And he knows that now that his opponent has reached Imperial, there is just nothing that he can do. His power spike is over at the moment. And ultimately, the Viper is going to overwhelm him, if not with units and with raiding, then with trebs coming out of any of these 1, 2, 3 castles. And as we saw, no gold over here, no gold over here, and 200 gold left. I'll find it eventually. 200 gold left over here. So, by the way, did he get Burgundian vineyards? Let's take a quick look. I think it's an economic upgrade, right? Which line is yellow? Which one is blue? Okay, so he hit Castle Age. No, sorry, I'm looking at yellow. Oh, God, you guys know how much I hate this this one layout over here. No, it doesn't look like he did, unless it's under the military tab. So he hit Castle over here at 2054. Town watch, blah, 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 blah. Cavalier, blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't. So even his 43 farmers are not generating gold. So yeah, ultimately, El Matador is seeing the future, seeing that it is not good for the Flemish people, seeing that the Turkish Empire is about to bust them wide open. His castle might go up, but nowhere close to Imperial. And if he rushes to Imperial, like I said, he just won't have the resources once he hits Imperial. If he even does, that is a long time away. And if he hits Imperial, he just won't be able to do much with no resources. And the Viper, meanwhile, has 1,000 gold, access to 2,000 over here, 3,000 over here. He's mining this one over here, another 2,000 for him, whereas all the gold on the left side of the map is gone. And so El Matador decides to tap out 93 Cavaliers to 74 Cav Archers. Amazing APM for both players. El Matador, Hera level APM at the 36-minute mark of the game. The Viper a little bit earlier on. Economy's not too dissimilar, about 10 or 12% apart. More wood, more food, more gold, and more stone for our Turk. Although, take a look. With the relic taken out, they basically mined the same amount of gold. Viper had one more town, one more castle in terms of how much stone he had. Food count almost identical, but wood count about 3,000 more. Let's take a look at kill count. Also incredibly similar. El Matador with more kills. Actually, wait, let me forward all the way to the end of the game. El Matador with 7 more kills. The Viper with a few more villagers, but again, 116. Not bad. I'd say you probably want to see, 130 to 140 if you're going heavy units like Cavaliers. But, yeah, I think El Matador just realized there's no way he can... And by the way, during all of that mental gymnastics is going on, the Viper is still raiding with these 2 really annoyingly placed for El Matador, perfectly placed for the Viper, stables here, which I erroneously called barracks because, that's the kind of stuff I do. And just take a look at his map. Castle might be up here, but the entire center is open. There's nothing here to stop Cav Archers from running straight in, right into the guts of the base, and then deciding, do we want to go left? Do we want to go right? And this base is just way too exposed. Viper building 2 town centers. I love this. One right next to the other. And with 150 villagers, he's just going to completely overwhelm his opponent. Even if he loses the first engage, the second engage, even the third engage, he will eventually just overwhelm his opponent with his superior economy, his better army. And El Matador just cannot keep up. And despite, like I said, putting up an amazing defense, how many of us would have survived that Feudal Age onslaught by the Viper? He ultimately does tap out. The Viper gets the W. And that being said, our underdog lives to fight another day. Like I said, Viper this time in this particular matchup takes the W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.